She's mediocre, really. Of all the ochres, she's the meatiest.
You are like a earlobe. You're just there, just wobbling.
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerve herder.
Dirt-eating piece of slime. You scum-sucking pig. You son of a motherless goat.
You are a sad, strange little man.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people!
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
You look like a blueberry.
It's the Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends podcast.
How are you? I have to say, while you're drinking water, let me just tell you a fun little story about Shawn and I and how we interact with one another. Because Shawn is so hard to nail down, number one, but number two, I'm sorry. So he was supposed to, like an hour ago, he's like, 15 minutes work. I'm like, yes, perfect. Great. So I come and I sit down in my little corner and I'm just kind of doing a few things. And then I look down, it's been 30 minutes. I don't hear from him. So I sent him a text and I'm like, what, are you like jerking off?
Yes, at work.
And how did you respond?
I said, I don't want to say wrong because I said, no, I got stopped by someone logging in now.
No. What did you say after that?
Well, then you said, oh, I said, did 4 times this morning, all done for today.
Yeah. See, so that's just how, in a lot of ways, I don't feel like a normal work environment people would say that kind of stuff to each other. But welcome to the show. It's Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. It's a brand new episode brought to you by our sponsors and friends at Tallent Co. Real Estate. I'm like already on the struggle bus and we just got started.
What's wrong with you?
I don't even know.
What do you mean struggle bus?
I mean, like, clearly I am not getting anything out that I want to get out.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because all I can think about, and I'm not laughing about this situation because that would be mega messed up. But remember that woman that I told you about, Shawn, in Brazil, and she wheeled her uncle in to get like a loan for $3,200, and we played a little bit of the video, and it was just really a trip because she wheels him into the bank. He is clearly dead. Well, there's more coming out of this story, and I was reading this, and I was like, this is the craziest fucking story I've ever heard of. So before she got to the bank, this Brazilian woman, again, she tried to pull a weekend at Bernie's. She took her dead uncle into the bank to get a loan. But beforehand, they're finding out that she flagged her ass down an Uber. Erica de Souza Vieira Nunez. She was caught on surveillance footage getting an Uber. And the Uber driver pulls up and is like, huh? Because the uncle is dead in a wheelchair, and she's like, he's sleeping. And so this guy has to like get the dead person who's sleeping into the car, and he keeps saying, I think your uncle's like, there's something that's wrong. And she's like, no, he's very tired. Well, now her defense is that he died at the bank while they were signing the papers.
There's probably no way to prove otherwise, so she'll probably get off.
This is like that damn Jussie Smollett case where it's like he said that all those MAGA guys threw acid and shit on him. And
right.
It's like this, at some point you got to be like, hands up. My story is clearly a lie. I've been caught red-handed, but she's taken this all the way to the end, as is Jussie Smollett, because he's saying still to this day that there were Trump people that threw Subway sandwiches and acid at him at like 2 a.m. What
are you going to do? I mean, once you're caught so deep into a lie like that, what are you going to do?
It's interesting to me.
You can say, yeah, I lied, and then you get locked up forever. Or
I guess it's like a Hail Mary, but I'm like, how dumb did this woman have to be? Again, trigger alert. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, I would like to apologize. Because these images can be hard to see of this poor dead man being wheeled around town by his niece and he's going to the bank and someone's trying to shove him into an Uber, and I'm sure rigor mortis sets in at some point. It doesn't take that long, and like what a mess. But yeah, now she's saying that he died at the bank, folks. He
When
agreed
I
to
do
get me
that,
alone and he
when I
died.
die, I hope somebody takes me on a little trip like that. I don't care if they're
Really?
forging my name. Yeah, it sounds like one final hoorah before they put me in the ground, which sounds horrible because then you're there for eternity. So, I
Wow.
mean,
Hey,
why
you know
not?
what?
Why not go on one little final adventure?
Listen, not to get morbid in any way, but I was at Murphy's soccer practice yesterday and I was sitting around with all the moms and they were talking and it came up about like, do you have a will? Do you know where you're because these two people are going on a trip and they're like, I don't know what to do. What if we both die and then our kid, like what do we and you really should leave a note, I guess, that says, hey, if there anything happens to us, I want them to go to so and so, and then you sign it. But we've done that stuff, and I feel like Ryan is pretty on point because these women were like, I never even have asked him what he wants, and maybe it's because I'm a hypochondriac, but Ryan knows to the tiniest detail of what I want. And I mean, do you guys ever talk about that? Maybe we're weird that we have it like on lock.
Nope, never talked about it. And I don't think, by the way, going back for just a second, I don't think that you can just write a note and then sign it and
I
it's like
think you
legal
can.
binding.
I
Then
think
why
when
would
push
people
comes
go
to
to lawyers
shove.
for wills?
Well, because listen, that's obviously the best way to do it. But say that you're going on a vacation and you forgot to make yourself a will for the lawyer. I think that would hold up in court. I know a ton of people who do that.
I don't think so.
Well, okay. Every other day you're asking me for lawyer advice.
This is why I don't trust anything that you say because I'm pretty sure that that's not legally binding.
Okay,
That
well,
kind of stuff has to be notarized and stuff. You're talking about finances and where kids are going to live and things like that. You don't just sign a post-it note and put it on the
I think
counter.
you can.
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure
Okay,
that's not the
Sean.
case.
Well,
But
here's the
to answer
deal.
your question, move forward.
Yeah.
No, Shannon and I, we've been together for 20 years now. It's high school sweethearts, and I don't think we've ever talked about it. I have no idea. If I'm being completely honest, and this is sad. I have no idea. Like, does she want to be cremated? Does she want to be buried? I don't know. I really don't.
Which I think is crazy, but according to a lot of people that I've spoken to recently, this is like not that big of a deal. They're like, wow, I had no idea what he wants to do. And I'm like, what? But then again, I guess I assume Ryan will want to do what I want to do, which I want to be cremated and I want to be put in a vase in our room. Or actually, you could split me up, because I'm dust. So just you could put a little in this. And I always tell Ryan, I want you to keep my ashes somewhere where the next hoe is going to come in and I am going to be staring at her. So there will be no pleasure time. And I said, and see, this is why I'm sure I'll die. And he'll be like, I don't know what she wants because I go on these long diatribes where I'm like, and if you take my picture and ashes down, I'll haunt you. He's like, okay. So I guess we're not going to have an adult conversation, but I have certain things that I do want. You know that you can take your ashes and you can, I don't know, plant a tree or something like that. You can do that.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
just
cool.
rather use
That's
it
what you want?
to terrorize Ryan until he meets me in heaven.
I prefer I prefer not to think about that kind of stuff. And I know you should. I don't know. I don't even know what I want. I don't know if I want to be cremated or buried. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it.
And you know what's funny is it's a generational thing because like my parents, it is like they don't want to be a bother to anybody. So it
Mm.
is set up where when they pass, uh we don't have to do anything. They already know what box they're both going to be cremated too, but they already know what they want, this and that, and it's already done to where I think more our generation, maybe it's because I saw my parents like locked up, but I'm like, we got to know, brother, where are we going? What are we doing?
I guess. I mean, I don't want to be a burden either, but I don't want to think about it. So I just avoid it and I don't do anything with it. But I do remember my grandma, she was proud of it. She would tell me all the time that they saved up for years and they spent all this money on a plot, like a cemetery plot,
Yes.
to make sure they had it. And it was in the perfect spot and they had it for enough people so that the people they wanted to be buried by could be buried there. And like, that was a big investment. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I could buy a lot of Chick-fil-A or I could go get me a new truck instead of a cemetery plot. I'm not investing in that. Bury me
I
in the
totally
backyard.
agree.
I don't give a shit. I'm not spending my money on there. There's a million other things that I'd rather spend my money on than a cemetery plot.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been pro just light me up, baby. Here's some weird facts. This is so funny because someone actually, I believe her name is Chelsea. She reached out to me and about something totally random, but she said she was listening to our podcast at work and she had mentioned she works at a mortuary. And I'm like, oh my God. So I wrote her back like 10 minutes ago and I'm like, can you come in so we can ask you really fucked up questions about your job? Because I have so many questions, so many theories that
Well, I
some
have.
people say it's true and some don't. Like if you poop yourself when you die.
Oh, we don't have to go down that again.
We don't have to go down that road if you don't want to find the facts. Go ahead.
I don't want to. I've already told you this. We didn't go into great detail, but I have some answers. My grandpa, who I talk about a lot, he just turned 90 a couple of weeks ago. He was a truck driver. He drove around cows his whole life, but then he retired from that and he can't sit still like so many men who work their whole lives. And so late into retirement, he got a job at the mortuary too. And I always thought he drove the hearse. And I thought that there was individual jobs. Like I was young and it was hard for me to comprehend that he worked at the mortuary. And so I always thought he was the hearse driver and that was it. But then when you get to talking to him, like you work at the mortuary, you do it all. You're not just the hearse driver.
Yeah.
You
got to like
do
bring the body in. You
dress
got to
'em.
like move the
Yes.
body. You
They-
got to.
Yeah, it's start to finish. Yeah, it's basically from the time they get there until the time that they're put to their final resting spot. He's in charge of this person, and so it's crazy. It didn't bug him at all, which is weird because he's my grandpa, and so like you would think that same sort of gene would pass down to me. And I'm like,
Because you're so
hell
sensitive.
no, hell no, that would never like. And he's so like business oriented about it too. Like it's fine. This is how it is. This is what I do. And
I think you would
fine.
have to, though, just like we've talked about first responders, you would have to disconnect yourself from what you're working on and what you're doing because that would be a trip. She is yet to write me back, but I am on pins and needles where I don't even want to care to ask about the pooping after you dying thing, whatever. But I mean, there are so many things where even just like the psychological standpoint, like what's the most fucked up thing you ever saw where you just could never forget it? And now tell us that fucked up thing so we could never forget it. I think it's fascinating. It's morbid and we're gross and I'm gross and I'm
You're
sorry.
gross. And when you do that episode, she can be your guest and I'm going to take that day off and I'm going to go to the park. And
No, you're going to be here. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm just going to be like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring it. And you'll be blindsided.
And I can
Anyway.
leave and I can go fish.
Listen, so get back on track with me here. You know
I
what
can't
she
ever
also
fish
said?
because of this podcast.
Yeah, I can't do a lot of things either because you're always late. I sit here.
Do I know what now? Sorry, I needed to make sure that you understood that
you should be fishing right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, so I just read that story. And another funny thing is not only does she work with those who have died, but she also says there are geese in front of her work too that terrify her. And I'm like, oh, and so there's kind of a connection for you, Shawn. So I can ask her about her job and you could ask her about different tactics with the chicken murderers or whatever.
Cobra chickens. This one is still by the way, this has been 3-week thing now. I need to Google it, but maybe you know because you're a goose expert. Why is this thing still sitting in this pot by the front door? Like, it still hasn't. The mama still has not moved. And so, in case you haven't listened to that episode, there's a goose in front of the radio station front door, and it's sitting in a pot. I'm assuming on an egg, and then its husband, baby daddy goose, is wandering around terrorizing people and being mean. And the mama is still in there. The dad hasn't been seen for a while.
Did he go out for cigarettes?
I mean, I think here's what I think happens because I like the mom won't move. She's just in the pot. She sits in the pot. She's always there 24/7. You can count on her
Nice.
being there. The mean dad one that was chasing people and being mean, it used to be there all the time too, and you couldn't get in because it would
Do you think
terrorize you.
he
It's
died?
gone. No, I think that I don't know how long you're supposed to sit on an egg if you're a goose, but I think that this is just a it's using the dad. It's been sitting on an egg for too long, and the dad finally was like, "You're lying. You ain't pregnant. You're just sitting there. You're lazy. You want me to protect you? Well, you sit in this pot, and you're not even doing anything in this pot." And so I think he took off. I think he got pissed and left.
He went out for cigarettes and he never came.
Yeah.
Or what if somebody finally got tired of it? What if this is you just trying to clean up your story of like how
Oh,
you
I would
wring its
ring that.
neck?
I would wring its neck. I'm telling you, I know it's illegal, and I've been talking about a lot of legal activity that I do lately, and this is only one more thing, but I haven't, I promise. If you're a prosecutor from the Wild Game Commission, I have not wrung a neck of a goose, but I would.
But there is one
Self-defense.
missing.
If that bitch came at me, I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna defend myself, and that's just how it is. And you don't get a choice.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Should
So
we segue?
anyway,
Wait,
yeah.
I'm
Segue
going
out
to
of
jump
geese.
in here right now and thank our sponsors really quick at Talent Co Real Estate. They're going to be able to get you into the home of your dreams and something that you love coming home to every day. And they have got it's just like it's a big family, and they work together, and they know their stuff. They're experts, and they'll help you from start to finish. So like staging your home, or where, how far out should you put the word out for your home? I mean, it's all very confusing. And that's why you have the folks at Talent Co Real Estate. So go and visit them online today, homeandnoco.com.
Yeah, go do it.
Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about was they're doing a remake of a movie, and it really bums me out. I think this light that I have is fog.
Well, which movie is it? Is it Happy Gilmore?
No, The Naked Gun.
Is Steve Martin still alive?
Okay, well, it was Leslie Nielsen. Steve Martin was not in The Naked Gun.
Oh.
Oh my God. I mean, this is probably a little before your time, even though,
Yeah.
what are we, like 4 years apart?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so calm down. It's not.
I don't think I saw The
like,
Naked Gun.
just by the hair of a ball sack is you're getting by on this, but it makes me sad. It was Leslie Nielsen.
Is he still alive?
No, but he plays the detective who's just he's such an idiot, and he fucks everything up, and it's delightful, and it has such good memories for me from my childhood. And it actually, shockingly enough, had OJ Simpson, and he played like an insanely likable. And so I gotta say, I mean, OJ was a fucking asshole, but the dude could act, because I believed he was likable. But they're
Was Weird Al in that
redoing it.
movie?
Yes. Weird Al actually isn't, but like a tiny little part. Why
Yeah.
did you ask that?
Because I just Googled it, and Weird Al was the second actor
Oh,
after
you
Leslie
did?
Nielsen.
Yeah.
Oh, and so was Priscilla Presley. I didn't know she was an actress either.
So
Huh.
she plays the love interest, and they're remaking the movie. And I'm going to tell you who they're choosing. They chose, I guess, already to replace Priscilla Presley and Leslie Nielsen. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Pamela Anderson.
She's still alive?
And shut up. And Liam
Tommy Lee's
Neeson.
dong got her.
It ran her right through.
All right. So Pam Anderson and who? Sorry.
Which Pamela Anderson is going through like she's just kicking ass in life. So she's amazing. But and Liam Neeson, the guy that's like, I'll find you and I'll kill you. And he did like 40 of those movies. So here's what concerns me about it. It's the fact that Liam Neeson is not a funny person. This will shock me if they can pull it off, because it's so sticky and it's so goofy comedy, and there's no way I think he can do this. I read this and thought, what? And so I'm hoping what they're not doing is turning it into, less funny, more gritty. It'll be streamed on Netflix, and instead of the funny jokes, it'll just have hardcore sex scenes.
I mean,
like, and then it'll be completely ruined. Like, why can't we just come up with something brand new? Sean and I have ideas of plenty of shows that people would like to watch, I'm sure.
Yeah, got them all written down. You want me to go over my list?
Yes, pick one and tell us.
No, I'm not going to do that, but I will tell you, like sometimes it's a complete remake. You have to read and make sure, because sometimes it's a complete remake, like they're going to do the movie again, or it's like Happy Gilmore. He's not remaking it. It's Happy Gilmore 2. It's a second one. It's a
Which
whole
is so
different
good.
movie.
That's the only
That's
way
what
to
you
do
should
it.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you should do. So this could be Naked Gun 2.
No, because there already was a Naked Gun 2 with
This
Leslie
could be
Nielsen and
this
OJ.
could be
And
Naked
there
Gun
was a
4.
Naked Gun 33 and a half or 3 and 30, something
This one
like
is going to
that.
be Naked Gun 4. I just looked it up. 2025. It's going to be titled The Naked Gun 4 Rhythm of Evil. It's not a remake. It is a new movie. Naked Gun 4. The
Okay,
Rhythm of
wait. So
Evil.
read the premise. Does it say what the premise is?
Yes.
Rhythm of Evil could go many ways as far as what genre it lands.
Based off the oh damn it, ad just popped up right where I'm reading. Based off the wildly popular comedy franchise The Naked Gun and television series Police Squad by Jim
Mhm.
Abrams and David Zucker and Jerry Zucker. That's all it says.
I was like waiting for you to bust into
Oh,
something.
the concept unfolded as a passing the torch narrative
I don't
with
like that idea.
somebody Frank Durbin mentoring a young police officer.
Well, it's Frank Drebin, and he's dead because that's Leslie Nielsen's character. So he's dead. So how would or Liam Neeson is going to come in and pretend to be Leslie Nielsen's Frank Drebin. And then that's gonna suck balls. It
Well,
just
don't watch
is.
it, Sadie. That's what I do when I have something that I don't want to see. I just don't watch it.
I prefer to go onto the internet and troll these bitches. No, so I went and I watched the original one the other day, which I haven't seen in like 15 years. It's so good. It's so good. You have to watch it. Although the magic might be lost on you because you didn't watch it in the right era. Like, I have never seen the movie The Goonies.
Yeah, I've never
And
seen that one too.
so this just makes people fall out of their chair in just shock about never seeing the movie The Goonies. But the bottom line is I'm like, if I saw it now as a 40-something-year-old mother and it's not gonna be magic, I'm gonna be like, "This is the shittiest effects I've ever seen in my life." Like, there were so many amazing movies that I saw when I was young that were believable to me because I had the mind of a child. Now I'd be like, "This looks stupid as shit." Why is that person like, Ryan does not like watching movies with me because 'cause I'm like, "What's that person all about?" And he's just like, "You're the worst." But I feel like if I watched E.T., another one I haven't seen,
Mhm.
if I watched that now, I'd just be like, "What the fuck?"
Well, you know this about me. I'm not a very good pop culture guy. I never watched a whole lot of movies unless they were Adam Sandler movies. So here recently, I have been as they've been popping up on TV. I try to watch them so that I can say I've seen them. The other day, it was Shakespeare in Love. Never seen that one before, and I know that that's like
Oh, yeah.
critically acclaimed. And I got through about 20 minutes, and I was like, "Nope, can't do this one." Turned it off.
Yeah, I could have told you that's a shitter for sure. You're more I bet I could pick out the movies for you. And speaking of movies, that's like a kind of another thing. It's like over the weekend it snowed and oh god, it's just we're to the point where it's like this is just becoming like seasonal depression because of this shit. It's never going away. And then you get a nice day, you bring out the old ham hock legs for the sun, and then the next day it's snowing and it's just ridiculous. But we thought, what could we do? Why don't we go to a movie? That used to be a thing. And there used to be movies aplenty to choose. It was like, listen, if that one sold out, I'd be fine if we went and saw that one too. Now it is nothing. I think what we saw was there's like Shrek 4 or the Shrek 20th anniversary or some Shrek shit. And I'm like, is there nothing new out there?
Did
Don't
you
you
go through
remember
it?
there? No, I'm like, I don't even like Shrek 1 through 4.
Oh, I do. I think Donkey's the best cartoon character of all time.
I don't know. I just never was into the Shrek franchise, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, it's so sad to me because you can't even go to a good movie anymore. You know what we ended up doing? Going to one of these trampoline parks that'll probably give me, hepatitis.
That's only if you cut yourself.
Okay.
That's the only way to get it. My kid actually went to the movie the other day, though, and this was the first I'd heard of it. I thought he was lying to me. I had to investigate it because he tried to go to I guess there's a new Ghostbusters movie. He went with his buddy, and his buddy's mom took him, and he texts me and says that the movie's sold out. I was like, there's no way. Movies don't
You
sell
just want to
out.
do drugs in a
Yeah.
field.
You're trying to go somewhere else to do something else because this movie is not sold out. There is no way. So Shannon called over, and sure enough, the movie was sold out, and they went to a different movie instead.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
cannot tell you the last time a movie was sold out. I think it was like the Avengers when that was all kind of a big deal. But now you could do anything. But you know what I love more than anything? I love it when, and I understand that some people love going to the movies and it's magical. And sometimes it is fun to go. We'll go a couple times a year. But now that the world has opened up with streaming, I know a little bit of magic is gone, but is it? Because I could pause the TV and I go to the bathroom, or I could make a corn dog and I won't miss 1 minute. I hate when you have to run to the bathroom, and I have a bladder that just won't stop. So I feel like when I go to an average movie, I'll go to the bathroom like 3 times. And that's a lot of running because for some reason we're always in the last theater furthest from so I'm like sweating, got to wear my sneakers when we go. And then I go in and I'm like, what did I miss? And then you're getting explained what you missed. It's too much. It's rigmarole that's not needed. I could eat candy and I could get a better price on it at the Dollar Tree and go home and eat it. And no one will even look at me that I have eaten so much candy because no
one
one's
looks
there.
at you in the movie theater when you eat a lot of candy either. No one cares.
don't
They're
know.
there for the movie. They're not judging you.
I don't know. Some of
I've
those
never pissed at a
rappers-
movie. Not one time. Never
You've
went.
what?
I've never pissed at a movie.
You never gone to the bathroom at a movie
Nope.
theater?
Not one time.
How do you know that? How do you know that? You
'Cause I
remember
can
every
remember.
movie? And you've
I haven't
never
been to that many movies, first of all. And second, I make sure I piss before I go to the movie, just like going on a long road trip. I'm like, I am going to pay $15 to sit in this piss smelling theater to watch this movie. I'm not going to have to pee during it. So I go before, just like I tell my kids to go before we go on a road trip, and they don't. And 45 minutes in, they like, we got to stop. I got to pee. But not me. Like Boone, he had to go to the bathroom the last time we went to the movie in the middle of it. And I was like, dude, I have a streak of now 35 years of not going to the bathroom during the middle of a movie. I'm not ruining it for you. Piss your pants.
go alone,
Piss your
Boone.
pants. Tell your mom.
That's the weirdest flex I've ever heard, that you have kept track that you've never used a restroom at a movie theater before.
I've also never pissed in an airplane, and that's the truth too.
I have. See, but I'm one of those people where it's like, okay, I'm going to go before I leave. And then I get there and I go, I'm going to go before we're seated at our table. And then we get somewhere else and I go, I'm going to go before the movie starts. I'm an overgoer. So I almost feel like I've trained myself to have to go to the bathroom all the time. Because I'm an overgoer, but that's weird that you're not.
I'm the opposite. I can hold it for days.
No way.
I mean, it's really bad for you, so I'm not going to test this out, but I bet I could go a day without peeing if I had to.
A full day.
I bet. Well, I've been, if you're watching, I've been drinking these, and I drink a lot of them. And so just because it's more healthy, and so obviously if you're drinking more water, you're going to have to go more often. But if I knew that I needed to not pee, I could not drink water and not go. And I'm really good at holding it too. Like on the airplane, I've had to go in the airplane before. I've had to go in the movie theater before, but I can hold it. And I do.
I can't do that because then all I think about is I got to go to the bathroom. It's bothering me. And then I'm not paying attention to what's going on in the movie because I'm like, do I just run? I wish I would have gone during that part because that part was boring. And then it just becomes a mess. But I live a much more complicated life than you do. I overthink everything.
You do. I never used to piss in the shower, but I've been doing that a little bit more lately. I don't know why. It's just,
Ew.
is that not a normal thing?
Yeah, but you know what? That's normal. Everybody does that. I think that's like a control thing. You can't even control it. That water hits in the sound and you're like, fine, I'll do it. Now, if you don't clean your shower, well, then you're a monster. Or if you piss in the bath. Oh,
well, yeah. If you piss in the bath, that's a whole nother story. I don't know what kind of monster would do that. But like if you aim real good, I don't know about you ladies and how your aim goes. It seems like it would be a little harder to aim. But for dudes, you
Depends
can
on how much
aim
you've
pretty
been
good.
drinking.
Like again, 35 years of experience at aiming now, and so I'm really good at aiming. And I can like there's a hole in my shower, the drain, and I can get down the drain without touching any of the sides every time. And it's a game now, and so I'm just good. Like I'm perfect at it. Actually, I never hit the sides, so I don't have to clean the shower, and I can piss in the shower all I want because it doesn't touch anything.
Again, another really weird flex that you're pushing on us right now. That's really
I
great,
almost
Shawn.
when I give Boone a shower, there's been times where I want to ask him like, "Hey, dude, do you want to pee and see if you can hit that target without touching the sides at all?" And just I hope he misses because I want to think that I'm the only one that has that good of aim.
What
And
if Boone
this
grows up and
5-year-old,
gets to an age where Boone's like, "Dad, that's disgusting." Like,
well,
what
I
if,
didn't.
like, at what age is he
I
gonna
haven't.
surpass you?
I haven't told him to do it. I said I think about wanting to ask him if he wants to try so I can see that I'm better at it than him. I
Oh,
haven't done it though. I
right.
have not.
Okay. Well,
And
let's
as a matter of
hope
fact, he
there's more.
he he has tried to pee in the shower before, and I'm like, "No, what kind of monster are you? That's gross. We don't pee in the shower." And then, like,
Oh.
10 minutes later, when he gets out and goes and dries and gets in his I'm peeing in the hole trying to make a target. But he shits in the bathtub still. He's 5, and I don't know, it's like me when I piss in the shower, it's like when the water comes on me, like you said, it's just trained now, I have to. And so, for whatever reason, he's trained himself to shit in the bath every time the water so he's not allowed to take baths anymore. Shannon will
I
not let
would
him take
no,
baths. Showers only. He can take a shower without shitting, but the minute he sits in a bathtub and the water comes on and poop comes out.
how old is he now?
5.
See, you know what? That's okay. Murphy was a big bathtub shitter too. My other 2 were not.
I
And so
didn't
this
even know that was a thing.
I didn't well, until Murphy, I was like, "Wait, whoa, whoa. She must not be feeling well because this isn't normal."
Yeah.
22 bathtub shits later, I'm like, "This is a problem." Like, yeah, and then it kind of became like, if you're gonna poo in the bathtub, then you can't use it. You gotta take a shower.
Well,
You
Shannon
know?
always tells Boone that he's gotta clean it himself. He's 5, and
So
so
how good of a job will he
well,
do?
no, it's not even how good of a job, it's how bad of a job will he do. How much is he gonna spread this around and put it on all my washcloths and sponges? And so I'm like, I'm not letting a 5-year-old clean this." And she's like, "Well, I'm not
Shannon,
cleaning
get
it."
in there.
And so I get to clean it. So I'm on board with him not taking baths if he's gonna poop in there either. I don't think he's taken a bath in 4 months probably now.
That's
So I haven't had to clean
interesting.
shit out of a
Or
bathtub, which
is
is
it? I
kinda
don't
nice.
know. Your kid shooting in the tub. Isn't that interesting? I guess it is. Yeah.
He
'Cause I think
doesn't we had a hot tub until last week when it broke, but he didn't poop in the hot tub, which is like the same
mm,
sort of thing. I just don't understand the psychology behind it. And I
yeah,
try to
but does he
ask
go
him.
naked in the hot tub?
No, he does
No,
have a
so
suit
he
on
has
some.
kind of that barrier, you know,
Yeah, have you
where
ever
when
seen
you're in the
Big
bath,
Daddy?
there what?
Have you ever seen Big Daddy where he gives him a bath and he wears the swimsuit? Maybe that's what I need to do with Boone.
I think that's what you need to do. Can we cut it off here now?
Why,
We're
you
gonna
don't wanna
cut
talk
this
about
out.
Big Daddy today? We talked about your favorite movies.
Okay, we're cutting this off. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't heard, we have a new YouTube channel. Just search for Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. Be sure to subscribe to it. And then also, if you're more of a podcasting person, maybe that's how you like to listen. You can always find us on almost every platform, Spotify and Apple and all that kind of jazz. And that's it. Shawn, you always take my attention away because you can't stop moving, can you?
I do like to move. I like
Okay.
to move it. Are we done?
We're done.
All right, you seem annoyed today. I hope you get some rest.
You know what? I'm going to tell you why I'm annoyed. Okay. I thought we were done, but psych, bonus content. No, I'm just having to deal with all this fucking life shit that sucks. Like paperwork and just stuff that like I don't like doing this stuff, and it's a lot and it's stressful. And if you miss one fucking thing, it's like it's overwhelming. And we live in the time of scam artists. And I am like an elderly woman where I had to call my sister the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, it says that I have to pay $250 to renew this business license form thing. And she's like, that's a scam. And I'm like, What? It looks
No
so
wonder why I haven't
real.
gotten paid. You've been getting scammed.
Have you?
Have I? I haven't. Still waiting for
You
one
just
more.
have to fulfill your contract. You
Maybe
laugh.
we should have this business discussion off the air. Okay,
Oh,
bye.
no. You brought it up. Let's talk about it.
No, I have to go. I have to pee.
Oh, I thought you could hold it for days.
Yeah, not today. Been
Look
drinking lots
at
of
it,
water. Okay,
folks.
bye.
Bye.